Hey everybody, welcome back to the Outdoor Navigator. Today we're going to be fishing my home lake, Wilgreen Lake. So come along with me and let's check this place out and catch some fish. Well guys, I didn't have my camera on, but I just caught a hog. Let me flip it around here. It measures somewhere around 20 inches and it was almost 5 pounds. I mean, hog, look how fat he is. I mean, huge. Catching them big bass today. Look at this fella. Yeah! Well guys, I paused it there for a little bit. I hung a bait underwater and I spent, I bet 20 minutes trying to get it out. This one right here. But the wind was blowing. I was battling wind. I couldn't. I mean, it was very frustrating. I'm sure all of y'all have been there. Didn't feel like I had to show you that. But you know, the reality of fishing for sure. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. This wind is crazy today. Coming up in an episode, I'm definitely gonna put an anchor trolley on this thing and we'll explore it and look at how I do it. But I'm gonna tell you, I think you gotta have one, especially on a day like this. I mean, this wind is blowing me all over the place. I can't maintain my position to save myself. I've had a couple spots that looked really good, but the wind was so bad that I couldn't stay on them. I mean, even right now, I'm getting blown into the bank. I think I'm gonna have to find me a bank that blocks this wind, because this is very irritating. Very irritating. That's the only one I've caught in a while. I will let him go. Go back and get bigger, buddy. It was funny because when I got hung up earlier, I went into the bank because that's close to where it was at to try to get it out, and I had a big fish, big old bass, come up and splash me right in the face and take off. I mean, that was where my next cast was. And here we go again. Well guys, this is another one of those creeks channels that feeds into this lake. So we're gonna cruise up in it. Water is 60, almost 61 degrees. It's almost there. We're gonna cruise up in here and see if any fish have made their way up this way. At least right here the wind is not as bad. Still sticking with this spinnerbait. Plus, I've tried to, here this year, I've decided there's a lot of baits that I've never fished a lot with. Like, I've always fished plastics, Texas rig worms. That's probably my go-to. And that's the one that I'm comfortable with. You know, that's the one that I feel like if I put it on, I have the best chance at catching a fish. But I think what that's done to me is it has kept me from trying some different things, okay? Like, I've never fished spinner baits a whole lot. Never really fished chatterbaits a whole lot. Definitely haven't fished jigs very much. But I got a buddy that makes his own jigs, M&J Jigs, here in Richmond, Kentucky. And I'm gonna go by the local fishing store, the Cane Pole, that's in Richmond, Kentucky. And I'm gonna pick me up some of those jigs. And this year, I am gonna become a jig fisherman. I'm gonna fish them. I'm just gonna bring them one day. I got a buddy at work, his boy fishes on the Estill County bass fishing team here in Kentucky. And his coach recommended that, you know, some days that's all you take with you. You know, you fish it until you master it. You know, because if I got jigs in the boat with me and then I've got that Texas rig option, well, that's what I always go to, because I mean, it's just my fail safe. You know, it's what I'm comfortable with. It's what I've had success with, and you know, at different times, not every time, but enough to where, you know, it makes me go to that. You know, that's my go-to. It looks like a good spot. That's where I'm gonna go. May have to look into some steering options on this boat, because I'm telling you, sometimes I feel like it takes me an hour to turn. And I've got the upgraded native rudder. That still seems like it takes a while, but you see what I'm looking at over here. Got this big tree laid down, got a big lay down. Bound to be a fish in there. Come on now. Come on now. Bound to be. All right. I'm going to cast right along this tree here. I'll bring it, retrieve it right past this tree. Come on. Come on, fishy. I know you're in there. Come on. Come on. I know you're sitting there waiting to see that swim by. And apparently not. Alright, there's that same thing I hit a minute ago. Skip that under there. Some days I really miss my bass boat, especially when it's real windy. I mean, these kayaks sit real high up on the water, and I'm telling you, it can be rough fishing. It can test your patience, because it has tested mine today. But I am not at work. I caught a 5-pound fish. Well, I don't know what that was. I caught me a 5-pound bass, which is, I fished over here a lot, and I'm telling you, I think that's my biggest fish over here. I believe it is. So, with that being said, totally worth all the pain in the butt that this wind has caused me today. Even that one fish. Now, I would like to catch another one. We'll see what happens. You would think they'd be moving up here to bed, but I can tell you this graph, it ain't showing much. I mean, there ain't a whole lot of cover. I'm not seeing any bait. So here in a minute, I'm gonna head back to where I caught that big one this morning, because I'm hoping it's gonna be, that bank's gonna be on the back side this wind. There's a big old turtle. I'll try to see that gate over, that big log hanging off of it. Bound to be one in there. Bound to. Come on now. Nope. Ain't looking good. I don't know. Got a lot of birds over top of me. I hope they don't crap on me, because that's the kind of luck I'm having right now. Well, people, fishing is rough right now. I would like to be able to show you all big fish, but I ain't having no luck. I mean, there's birds all over the place. You would think they're feeding on something. You got to keep your eye out for all the signs, and man, all them birds sitting up there. You would think they was here to eat some little fish that feed the big fish. Bank shot, you gotta call it. Well, caught a nice stick fish. This is bigger than that last one. All right, pretty nice. I've always been a catch and release kind of guy though, so I'm gonna let you go back here, buddy. Grow up into a big tree someday maybe. Thought I felt something hit it. Must have hit a twig or something. Go back over. Try it again. All right, so we're getting back to where I was this morning when I caught that big hog. So we're gonna try to see if we can't do it again, maybe a bigger one. But the wind has about got me. So after I get down through here, this is probably it. I don't know, the fishing started out real good this morning. It has slowed down. This wind has not improved the conditions as far as for me. I don't know what it's done for them, but they ain't been biting. So we're gonna give it one more shot. We'll see what happens. When you're out here fishing, you definitely got to be patient. You got to keep your mind in the game too, because I tell you, it's easy to get frustrated. This wind has frustrated me 2 or 3 times today. I've got hung up, and it seems like once one bad thing happens, it just culminates. I get my bait hung up, then the wind kicks up to about 100 miles an hour. Then I sit there and spin in circles because I don't want to lose my bait. But when you've got a kayak with no anchor like I do, which I will be fixing that problem, all you do is float around in circles and come back and try again. And I tried a bunch of times. I'm surprised I didn't lose a pole or break a pole or something to save a $3 spinner bait, but hey, totally worth it. Like I said earlier, that one fish, that made it worth it. Plus just being out here in a minute, when I get done fishing this bank, I'm going to get out this sandwich that I brought and a cold L8, and I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to enjoy this nice breeze. I'm going to enjoy being off work. I'm going to enjoy the sounds of this water splashing up on the bank. Uh-oh. I thought I had something. And I'm going to count my blessings. Coming up, we got Easter weekend. Got a lot to be thankful for. I can tell you that. I'm not going to preach here on my channel, but hey. He is risen, and he is my Savior. I will throw that out there because I'm not ashamed. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this wind is, it's starting to pick up. Now I just laugh at it. I mean, you just gotta laugh. Anything else would be pointless. You just get yourself frustrated. And who knows? I mean, the next cast might be that whopper. I mean, that hog. You just can't never tell. That's what's so cool about fishing, man. You just don't, you can't never tell. I mean, that cast right there, this might be it. This might be the one. That's why everybody always has that, got to get that last cast. This is my last one, because everybody's hoping that that's the one. And when you go for a long stretch without catching one, when you do, man, that's the best thing ever. And you forget all about that last 2 hours you didn't catch nothing. You just remember that one you caught. When I get home today, I'm going to remember that one I caught. I'm going to show off the pictures. I took them from multiple angles too, so I can count that fish twice. I'll say I caught this one, and then I caught another one about the same size. That's what I'll tell them. I hope they don't watch this channel. I mean, I like the views, but I'd hate to get busted. Now, guys, if I show you fish, it's authentic. I hope you all just know, I'm sure you do, how much work it is. I mean, it's a lot of work, at least for me. I mean, I'm always trying to learn. You know, I get on YouTube and I watch videos, tactical bassing. I mean, that seems to be the one that I really like. Those guys, man, they're really good at explaining everything. I like the Fluke Master. He's good. I'll put some links in the description, so if you all have never seen those channels, you'll be wanting to go to them, because I mean, they give so much good advice. I bought so much fishing gear watching them guys. But I mean, just, you know, they'll teach you to be better fishermen. You know, I'm still learning. Today, I haven't really picked up on a pattern. I mean, these fish still haven't figured out if they're moving into the shallows to start their spawning or not. But, you know, kind of from what I've been gathering, looking at the Facebook pages and different things, I mean, people are catching them. I mean, they're in that pre-spawn. I mean, You know, they're feeding. And this morning, they were active. Now, I talked to a couple other people, and they kind of sounded like the same thing. You know, they had some luck early, and then it really considerably slowed down. You know, and I don't know what has happened, but you know, that's the thing. You know, it's adjusting, trying to figure it out. It's so windy. You know, part of my plan today is I was going to fish some finesse, but I don't really enjoy fishing finesse when it's real windy. You know, I'll go more to jigs and spinner baits and do some crankbaiting. It's just, I feel like I don't have a good feel for the bait like I want. You know, I want to be able to feel that bait, and when that wind is throwing a big bunch of slack in my line, it's just hard to concentrate. I like to have total focus when I'm fishing my plastics. Well, we're coming up on that spot where I caught that fish. So, will we get a part 2? Return of the big bass. Or will they say kiss my bass and I won't see anything, won't pitch nothing? I've been doing a lot of sitting today. I think I'm going to have a sore bass. We're getting there, guys. I'm gonna check my GoPro. This is my first time out trying to record a fishing video, so I don't know how this one's going to turn out. I hope that you all are patient with me, because I'm learning. But you know what I strive to do is give you all quality content. Okay, I want it to be informative, so I'm going to give you a bunch of information on this lake and where it's at and what kind of fish and what kind of ramp and all that kind of stuff. You'll get all that. But you know, I also want it to inspire you. I mean, I've had an awesome day. I mean, I ain't caught no bunch of fish. I caught one great big one for me, and that just made my day. And I mean, guys, it's more than that. It's just, you know, I get out here and it's relaxing. You know, I can reflect, think about things, and think about good things. I mean, I'm not sitting there thinking about the things that the news wants me to think about. Thinking about the things I want to think about. Which is where am I going to navigate to next. I've been sitting here trying to think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to get away with fishing 2 days in a row. But me and the family are definitely going to go somewhere. So, but you know, that's the kind of stuff I think about. Plus, I just kind of focus on what's going on. I look around me and, you know, I look at birds and squirrels and deer and turkey, or watch people out here fishing. You know, kind of do some people watching a little bit. And it's also just that focus, you know. Sport fishing. You know, I love catching fish. If I don't catch any, it does not ruin my day. Because if it did, I probably wouldn't go. Because I've had a lot of days when I've got a skunk. My last day over here was a skunk. That's why I didn't post any videos on that one. And then I come over here today and I forget to put my camera on. And I catch a big old bass. Well, this is where he went, where I got him. This is where it went down. And this wind is not wanting me to be here. It's wanting to blow me out of here. So, I don't know. Make a couple more casts, and then, like I told you, I'm gonna go find that sand. Uh-oh. Thought I had something hit me. It might have been there's a big lay down there. That's where that fish was last time. He was right over here, right where I just cast it. Y'all can't see, but it's right where I just cast it. Well, he didn't get to me this time. I'm gonna throw over by that tree. Oh yeah, let it drop. Let it drop. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, there's a lot of brush in there. And I mean, I wish y'all look at that. Look at that. There's fish all over the place, man. Probably crappie. I seen some guy sitting here catching crappie a minute ago. I see him pulled up here catching crappie all the time. Apparently the crappie have been wearing it out over here. This one guy I talked to said he'd caught his limit the other day, and he had about 6 or 7 a day, pretty good size, good eating size. So, you know, the crappie are at it. I need to do me a crappie episode. Look at that, man. Hopefully that zooms in there. There's fish all over the place. Man, what am I doing? Alright, I'm gonna make a couple more casts. I had to reposition. Let me get on the other side of this lay down. You want to try to strategically fish it from all sides. You know, I like to get that cast that runs right alongside of it. You know, that way that bass is sitting up under there waiting to attack, and he sees it come by. He just cannot resist. He has to do it. Alright. So let me get my boat turned here so I can make it good cast. Alright, here we go. Yeah, might not have been the perfect one, but had to do it. Hear people laughing. People having a good time, that's what that is. They've navigated outdoors. And I've navigated right into a tree. There we go. Well, I don't know. Let's try that log right there. Uh-oh. There we go. Recovery. Man, it fell down there perfect. Let it drop. Oh, man. Should have been a hog right there. Alright, let's try that other side. Alright, we're going to come across the end of him. Alright, I feel it there. And nope. He wasn't there. He's oh well. Let's go down this way. Uh-oh. Man, I see fish everywhere, but I tell you, I see people crappie fishing here all the time. I think that's what they are, but man, I'll tell you what, them bass eat crappie too, so I wouldn't doubt that them bass don't come in here and do some feeding. Uh-oh. There's just a lot of stick-ups in here. I mean, I can feel a lot of structure. I've come over here before. This is one of my favorite banks. So you guys that are watching this that are familiar with Wilgreen, you'll probably know where it's at. You'll be able to look up. And I mean, look at some of these houses, man. Some of these houses over here, humongous. I mean, just beautiful. If you're watching my channel, your house is beautiful. I'm very envious. I'd love to be on the lake. I'd get in trouble though, because I'd be fishing every day. Well, guys, man, tell you what, I'm getting ready to make that final cast, because this day I'm wore out. I am wore out. Coming up on this little point here. There's that little inlet. good though. I mean, we're sitting here, we're into April now. The weather, I hope, is starting to get better. The constant pattern is beautiful days, Monday through Friday, which just happens to coincide with my work week. And then the pattern is Saturday and Sunday, mostly crappy with high winds and lots of rain and cold. All those things. I mean, it's amazing. It doesn't matter what shift that I've ever worked, it's been the same story. You would think that it was rainy and crappy every day because everybody else has the same story too. And everybody's got different days off. I don't know. I don't know. How's it work out like that? Alright, come on now. Coming down this bank right off this point. Ooh. Oh man. I keep hitting stuff and it feels so good. Come on now. God, this wind is blowing me right past it. Oh man. Oh well, right. What are you gonna do? Alright, we're gonna get back in this inlet, and this is where that sandwich is gonna get dominated. So I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna make me one good cast. I'm gonna fish this out before I park because it looks good back there. So let me fish this out real quick. Make sure I'm not leaving nothing. Man, my first fishing show. When I was little, I liked to watch Bill Dance, and Jimmy Houston, and Roland Martin, and Hank Parker, all them dudes. And then BASS Rick Clunn was the man. He was dominating. I mean, those were all my heroes. I was like, how do I get a job going out there and doing that every day? I still ain't figured that out. But now I got me a little hobby here. This YouTube thing gets me outside, helps me share my adventures with you all, and hopefully it gets you all outside and gives you some info. So, alright, this is going to be, here we go. Last cast. Babe Ruth calling the home run. Come on. Nope. Come on now, fish. This is your chance to get on TV. This is your chance to get on YouTube. I'll make you famous. Or I'll make you 88 subscribers famous. As of yesterday. Alright, last cast. You know how that goes. Your last cast is not your last cast. Alright, I'm going to throw it out here a little bit. And I'm going to run it right down the middle. See if we got any fish that are laying back here a little bit and feeding in this area. And alright, that's it. I'm gonna call it this time for real. Uh-oh, I ran up on something. Okay. So, guys, get this put up here, turn this around, I'll talk to you a little bit. What's going on here? Alright, there we go. Alright, clip this in. I don't want to lose nothing. Alright, so, oh guys, I hit something a second ago. Let me get back here. Alright guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the closeout. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to get me something to eat, and I think I'm going to call it a day after I get done eating. It's starting to get cloudy. Well, this is Lake Wilgreen. Alright. It's in Richmond, Kentucky. It's just outside of the city limits. It ain't very far at all. It's close to me. I call this my home lake. So, you know, species of fish in here. You got large bass. I haven't seen any smallmouth, but largemouth bass, Kentucky bass. I've caught crappie, bluegill, shell crackers. I see people in here catfishing, and I mean, I've seen some people just, you know, pull in some monster cats. I mean, like you wouldn't believe. But it's a tough lake. I mean, it's a tough lake. It always has been. I fished over here since I was a little kid. It's always been tough. But hey, you know, makes it challenging, and we had a good day. We caught a big one and a couple other ones. So guys, man, I appreciate y'all stopping by. I hope y'all had a good time. This is my first time doing a fishing show. It's going to get better, I promise you. Well guys, here we are coming up to the parking lot here at Wilgreen Lake. Got a lot of parking. This used to be parking, and a flood come through here and ruined it. I've heard different stories about maybe somebody coming up and fixing it, but not for sure. Still looks like some people are able to park over there. Parked up here quite a few times. I've never had anybody mess with my vehicle, so feel like it's relatively safe. There is some fishing off the bank. You can see somebody right there fishing. And if you're kayak fishing, there's places to park over here. Even people with their trailers. But I usually park over here. There you got a bathroom, so if you got an emergency, you can go in there. I don't know what it's like in there. It might be kind of scary, but you can do what you got to do. Number one or number two. All right, so hold on a second. We'll get out and walk around. All right, guys, so here we are, Wilgreen Lake. I've also heard it called Taylor Fork Lake. Madison County, Kentucky, just outside of Richmond. Behind me, you see that there's some docks. Right now, those aren't accessible. Years ago, they were. They even rented boats here. But right now, they're not. The county actually is the one that manages this lake. I don't know why they've chosen not to get this back open, but for right now, that's not in the plan. So we'll walk over here and look at this little map that gives some information. All right, part of this safe boating campaign, make sure you always wear your life jacket. I always do. Always. I wear it the whole time I'm in the boat. You won't see a video without me and my life jacket on. So Lake Wilgreen, property in Madison County. Pretty much supervision's all up to you. It's open all daytime and nighttime hours. Here's the kind of fishing regulations that are here. I usually come over here and fish for largemouth bass. But anyway, we'll walk down here. I'll let you look at this boat ramp. It's a single lane boat ramp. As you back down it, as I'm looking at it on that right side, there is a little bit of drop over there. So most of the time, people I see putting their boats in, they'll hang over to that left side just like that guy is right there. So but yeah, we'll walk out here on this little dock here. So, you know, you bring your boat over, you can launch it and then come over, park your vehicle, and then come down here, catch back up with your boat. Yeah, see, I hear some guy talking about that hole. So up there, the dam is up there. Like I said, there is fishing off the bank. I see people fishing off the bank. There's not a lot of bank area to fish though over here. There's a lot of houses on this lake, but this is the main lake. You cruise up the lake, and when you get to the end, there's two different forks. One of them is Taylor Fork, and in the description I'll put a link to some information. I'll put a link to a map and any other info I can find on it. any other info I can find out, and I'll put in the description, okay, so you all can, you know, read up on it and get as much information as you can. Just some additional information. You can read these signs here. Schedule fishing and tournament 6240013. Also, they have their own Facebook page, Wilgreen Lake. So if you get on there, there's some guys that organize some some local tournaments. So, you know, I think they even have one every Sunday. So might want to get on there and check it out. One other thing that I should say, there's no swimming on this lake, and for your big boats, it's idle speed only. So this vehicle moved out. We'll walk down here at the bottom of the ramp and check it out and see what it looks like. Park and boat at your own risk. I've launched a bass boat over here before. This ramp is good. I mean, people come over here and put in all the time. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But on this side here, it does fall off a little bit. So most people that I see, they keep it over here on this left side as I'm looking at it. We'll go ahead and close it out. I appreciate y'all so much. And I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I hope you like this video. If you did, hit like, leave comments, ask me questions, share the video, and hit that notification bell, and then you'll keep updated when I have the next one. I'm moving into fishing season now, so I don't know if I'll be doing as much hiking. Time to start camping. So got some cool stuff coming up, a lot of information, hopefully entertaining and hopefully inspiring. So navigate yourself outdoors, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.